Good morning. Already we have studied the group and subgroup. You know that group means a non-empty set Z with some binary operation dot defined on Z which satisfy the following four conditions. These conditions are closure property, associative property, existence of inverse, and existence of identity element. And subgroup means a subset H of a group Z if it self forms a group with respect to the same binary operation which is defined in Z. Such group is called as a subgroup. Now we shall see what is a cosets. To define a coset, we shall consider a group Z and its subgroup H. And A is any element of Z, then this set formed by HA. Here H is a subgroup of Z, A is a element of Z. The set HA is a set of all elements small h into A. Here H belongs to subgroup capital H. Here we shall multiply by element of the group Z on right side of the elements of H so that it is called as a right cosets of H in Z. Similarly, if we multiply by elements of H by element of Z on right side, left side of elements of H, then it is called as a left coset. Means remember that right coset is a set of all elements of the form HA, H belongs to H. And left coset is a set of all elements of the form AH, here H belongs to H. If you multiply by element of the group Z on right side to the elements of H, it is called as a right set, right coset. If you multiply by element of Z to the left side of elements of H, it is called as a left coset. And the element of a group Z by which we multiply the elements of H is called as a generator. A is a generator. And in general, we say that HA here, HA is a right coset of H in Z generated by A. And here we can say that AH is a left coset of H in Z generated by A belongs to Z. Okay. For example, we shall consider the group Z having four elements 1, minus 1, I, minus I. It is a group of order 4. And consider its subgroup having only two elements 1 and minus 1 because 1 and minus 1 are the elements of the group G also. Therefore, H1 minus 1 is a subgroup of Z. Now we have to find right cosets of H in Z and left cosets of H in Z. Means we have to find the right coset, we have to consider any one particular element of a group Z. At first we consider A is equals to 1. Means 1 is an element of Z and multiply every element of H by 1. And that is H into 1. This is a right coset generated by 1 of H in Z. Now we have to multiply this 1 to every element. 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into minus 1 is minus 1. And therefore 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is H. It is a right coset generated by 1. Now second element of the group Z is a minus 1. We have to multiply all elements of H by minus 1. Here 1 into minus h into minus 1. It is a right quotient generated by minus 1. 1 into minus 1 into 1 is minus 1. This minus 1 into minus 1 is a plus 1. Again it is a minus 1 1. It is a h. Means right quotient generated by 1, right quotient generated by minus 1, both are h. Because here 1 and minus 1 are the elements of h. Now we shall consider remaining two elements 1 and minus 1 of the group G, and we shall find the remaining two right coset, means h into I, which will become 1 minus 1, then h into minus I, it will become minus I and 1. As there are 4 elements in a group G, there are 4 right cosets. But here you can observe that these first two right cosets are same, 1 minus 1, minus 1, 1. These are the same as a H subgroup. And also remaining two right cosets generated by 1 and minus 1, these are also same, 1 minus I and minus I. These are the same. Though there are 4 elements in Z and we shall in general get 4 right coset, but distinct right cosets are 2. First is 1 minus 1, another is I minus I. That means there are 2 distinct right cosets of H in G, and these are 1 minus 1, I minus I. Now similarly we can find the left coset. To find the left coset, we have to multiply by 1 on left side of the elements of H, and by similar manner we can obtain left cosets as 1 minus 1, minus 1 1, I minus I, minus I. Means there are 4 in general, there are 4 left coset, but out of these 4, first 2 are same and last 2 are same, means there are only again 2 distinct left coset. You have to remember that number of right coset is same as number of left coset. Distinct right coset same as number of distinct left coset. Now from this example we can make some remarks. That is HA, the right coset HA and the left coset AH, both are the subsets of group G. If group G is abelian, then right coset is equals to left coset for every element of the group G. Why these are same? Because in case of abelian group, there is nothing happen if we multiply by left side or multiply by right side. You will get the same element. Third, if H is a subgroup of the G and A belongs to H, if A belongs to H, then left coset is equal to right coset, and which is equal to H. Or conversely, if HA is equal to H is equal to AH, then A must be belongs to H. Already we have seen in this example, right coset and left coset generated by 1 and minus 1. These are the elements of H. This is equals to H. And fourth, if H is a subgroup of G and AB belongs to G, then HA is equals to HB. Means two right coset generated by two different elements of group G are equal if and only if A dot B inverse belongs to H. Same is true for right coset, but in left coset, but in this case we have to take multiplication like this. AH is equal to BH if and only B inverse A belongs to H. And fifth is very important to prove the Lagrange's theorem. Any two right coset of H in G either are identical or disjoint. Try to understand meaning of this sentence. If we consider any two right coset, then they are equal or have no any element common. As in this example, we have seen that for right coset, first two are equal and last two last two are equal. But if we consider first and third, they are not equal, also have no any element common. Means remember that if we consider any two right coset, then they must be equal or have no any common element. Or if you have in, that means if you have it one common elements, all elements must be common. And 6 is, if H is a subgroup of G, then G is equal to union of all the right coset of H in the, means if you consider union of all right coset or union of all left coset of H in G, that union must be equals to G. For example, these are the two distinct left coset, and if you take its union, the union is 1 minus 1 I minus I, and this is a group G. Okay. Then next lemma. First lemma, in case of cosets, there is a one-to-one correspondence between any two right cosets of H. This lemma also true for left coset. Everything which is true for left coset also true for right coset. Or conversely, if it is true for right coset, no doubt it is also true for left coset. Means we shall prove the result taking only one type of coset, either left coset or right coset. It is true for other case also. Here we have to prove that there is a one-to-one correspondence between any two right cosets of H in G. One-to-one correspondence means there exists a mapping from one right coset to the other right coset, which is both 1 and onto. Means we shall consider one mapping from HA to HB and prove that this mapping is 1 and onto. For this purpose, consider and HA and HB be any two right cosets of H in G, and we shall define a mapping F from HA to HB by FHA is equals to HB. F of HA is equals to HB. Now, at first we shall prove that F is one-to-one mapping. One-to-one mapping means F of X is equals to F of Y implies X is equals to Y. Then the mapping is called as a one-one mapping or one-to-one mapping. Means consider F of H1 is equals to F of H2. But what is definition? F of HA is equals to HB. Therefore, here F of H1 is equals to F of H2 implies H1B is equals to H2B. Then cancelling B on right side, we get H1 is equals to H2, and then multiplying A on both sides, we get H1A is equals to H2A. Means the F of H1A is equals to F of H2A gives H1A is equals to H2A. Therefore, the function F is one-to-one function or one-one function. For onto function, suppose F is a function from A to B. The function F is called as onto if for every Y belongs to B, there exists X belongs to A such that Y is equals to F of X. Then the function F is called as a onto function. Now here, clearly this condition is satisfied. For every HB belongs to capital HB, there exists the element small HA belongs to capital HA such that F of HA is equal to HB, and therefore F is onto mapping. And both the conditions 1 and onto are satisfied, and therefore there is a one-to-one correspondence between any two right cosets of H in G. If you have to prove this result for left coset, only you have to take this mapping as, instead of F of HA is equal to HB, you have to consider this as a F of AH is equals to BH and prove this by similar manner. Okay. Then we shall see the Lagrange's theorem. It states that if G is a finite group and H is a subgroup of G, then order of H is divisor of order of G. Order of H is divisor of order of G. Or, yes, order of H is divisor of order of G. Okay. To prove this, we shall consider H is a subgroup of G and order of H is M. As order of H is M, the H has M elements because order means number of elements in that group. Here H is a subgroup. Order of H is given as a M. Therefore, the subgroup H has M elements and these M elements are denoted by H1, H2, Hm. These are the distinct element of subgroup H. Now consider any element A belongs to G, then HA is the right coset of H in G. And therefore HA is written as, what is right coset? Every element of H multiplied by A, element of H are H1 to Hm, and therefore right coset generated by A is this set H1A, H2A, HMA. Now as HA has how many elements? H has M elements, therefore right coset HA also have M distinct elements. Okay. Therefore, each right coset of H and G has M distinct elements, and we know that G is given as a finite group. Therefore, the distinct right coset of H in G will also finite. Suppose this distinct right coset in G are K. This is our assumption. Also, we know that two right coset of H in G are either distinct or identical. We have seen this in previous lemma. Any two right coset of either identical or distinct, and union of all right cosets is equals to the group G. We have seen last two remarks, these two remarks, and using these two remarks, as HA1, HA2, HAK are the K distinct right cosets of G, and therefore union of all these K right coset must be equals to G. Therefore, order of G, taking order on both sides, order of G is equals to order of HA1 plus order of HA2 plus on order of HAK. That means order of G. Order of HA1 means order of every right coset is equals to M, because the set H has M element. Therefore, order of every right coset is M. Therefore, there are K elements. Therefore, M plus M, this is a K times. Means how it will become this last equation? Order of G is equals to M plus K times. Means it will become K into M. Means order of G is K into M. But what is M? M means distinct element of H. H has M element. Therefore, what is order of H? Order of H is M. Therefore, in this equation, this M is replaced by order of H. And we get order of G is equals to K into order of H. And therefore, order of H is divisor of order of G by the definition of divisibility. Means when we say that A divides B, if B is equals to A into some other integer. Here we also have OH into K is equals to order of G. That means order of H is a divisor of order of G. Okay. The converse of this lemma is also true. Now we shall see the next definition, index of a subgroup in G. Now to define an index, we shall consider G is a group, H is a subgroup of G. The number of distinct right coset of H in G. A number of distinct right coset of H in G is called as the index of H in G. As we have taken one example, previous one example to find the right coset and left coset. in that example, we have considered G is a group having 4 elements, 1, minus 1, I, minus Y. And we have taken subgroup as a H having 2 elements, 1 and minus 1. In this example, there are only two distinct right coset, or there are only two distinct left coset. In this case, index of subgroup H is a 2. Index of subgroup H is equal to 2. Number of distinct right cosets or number of distinct left coset of H in Z is called as a index of H in Z, and it is denoted as a IGH, and which is equal to order of G divided by order of H. Okay. Then order of element of a group we shall see in detail in next lecture. Actually, order of element, or let us see, if G is a group and A belongs to G, then order of element A belongs to G is a least positive integer m such that A raised to m is equals to E. Here remember that we have to consider smallest integer m satisfying the condition A raised to m is equals to E. Here E is the identity element, then m is called as a order of that particular element A belongs to m. For example, if we consider group as 1 W square, then order of 1 is equals to 1. Why order of 1 is equals to 1? Because 1 raised to 1 is equals to 1. Order of W is 3 because W cube is equals to 1. That is the identity element. And W square, order of W cube is equal to W square is equals to 3. It is a W square, not W cube. Order of 1 is 1. Order of W is 3. And order of W square is also 3. Remember that order of any element in its inverse element is same. In this case, W and W squares are inverse elements of each other. Because if we take their multiplication, we get W cube, and W cube is a complex root of unity. That means W cube is equals to 1. Okay, with this, in next lecture also we can see about the order in details. With this order of element of a group, we shall stop today's lecture. Thank you to all.